Junior year was a very interesting and special year. A lot happened that some I don't think you want to hear about, but others are just too funny to not say. The first part of career ed was the business project, which I did with Jalen, Jared, Lorenzo, and during the presentation, Jalen took forever to get through his 3 slides, which means I had to rush through my slides. We created a business called the Voodoo Shack, which sold like African style food, and I actually made avocado dip to put on everybody's desk and give them a try of what our food would really be like. And also that project was probably the most stressful for me, simply because Lorenzo went on a cruise the week that it was due and he didn't do his part correctly, so I ended up having to do all of his work for him. But we ended up getting an A, which made me very happy, and the fact that we were the first project to present means we got extra credit on the project, which is always a bonus. And then the next project we did was the college project, which after the business project, every project was individualized. So the college project was just me, so anything that was marked down, it was on me. And we got a lot of class time to work on it, but it was usually spent arguing with Mr. Woods about whether the Warriors were gonna win or lose, or the Giants, or something about soccer or anything. But I finished the project about 6 hours before the deadline, which was midnight, but I ended up staying up till midnight just to help the people who procrastinated and were struggling. You know, that really tested my patience that night, but I survived it, and luckily I got an A on that project too, which I was very proud of because it was the first project in career ed where I really did all the work myself. One of my favorite guest speakers would have to be Mrs. Baker, simply because she came to talk about her business, but we spent the whole time talking about her motivational quotes. She gave every table a few pages of quotes, and we just talked about those forever, and it really just made me see how everybody has different viewpoints of the quote, but the intent is still there, the intent to be motivated and to push you to keep going no matter what, which is really something that I needed at the time because of the projects that were going on and all the work that seemed to be piling up and stressing me out. But Mrs. Baker, she gave us candy, and she was just really positive, and she has faith in us, which is something that I don't think everybody has. The etiquette speaker, Miss Tina, was so great. She always came with a bunch of energy, and she really taught me a lot about interacting with people in a formal setting. My favorite part was when we did the mock like appetizers thing, where she taught us how to hold a plate with a napkin and a cup and still be able to shake somebody's hand, which is a pure talent, I think. She also taught me how we need to start from the outside and work our way in when it's like a complicated place setting with like 4 different forks and 3 different knives and all that, which is something I didn't know before, so it was really interesting to get to learn that. And then the mock interviews. Before I went into my interview, Mr. Woods bet that I couldn't get a perfect score, and you know me, I'm competitive, so I had to get a perfect score. And so I walked in, I was confident, I didn't let my confidence waver, I just said what I needed to say, and I ended up getting a perfect score. And I walked out, slammed the paper on Mr. Wood's desk, and basically kind of told him off in a way because for having no faith in me. And then I walked away and went back to class, and then the next day he stood up as I walked in and gave me a round of applause, which anytime that happens makes you feel good. But for the do's and don'ts, do speak clearly and with an appropriate tone, but don't be afraid to talk about yourself, because this is an employer's chance to get to know you and figure out who you are and if you're a good fit for their company. So just talk about yourself and don't get an ego. For time management skills, I did procrastinate simply because I didn't have time to do it beforehand, because I do a lot of things. So this time management was a problem for me. I ended up having to schedule some work time. But if you can limit yourself to what you do extracurricular wise and schedule time for your homework, that would probably be best. And if, don't do everything. Don't be like me and don't do everything and don't get sleep. Actually spend time working out your schedule before you volunteer yourself for more. That's it. Thank you.